Hey,
Hey there. How are you today?
I, I'm great, and you?
Okay, breaking up a little bit. I think. Let's get started. So, how's your week been so far, Press? How was last week? Because we are at the start of a new week. That's how I look at it. Sunday is the start. Uh-oh. Now I'm not hearing you
We
at
had
all.
a short trade. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Can you hear me? Oh, we had
Mm-hmm.
a short trading
Yes.
week due to the holiday on Wednesday, so we didn't
Mm-hmm.
really have any significant economic data that came out this week. So I pretty much just sat on the sidelines for the most part as far as trading is concerned. I did do my dollar cost averaging daily though, as usual. So it's nothing really that I did special this week in the market.
Okay, okay. Yeah, same here. Uh, so let's talk a little bit about your YouTube portfolio. So I made a comment on your portfolio update yesterday, and it was not a truthful comment. I thought it was, but I was mistaken. I was must have been reading about Nike and just had it in my mind, but I didn't have it in the notes for to talk about for today. But I just must have known everything that was coming up just because. So, as a Nike uh, shareholder, can you give us a little update on the upcoming news related to Nike?
Okay, so basically, Nike executives were accused of misleading investors about its purported success in its direct-to-consumer strategy. They failed to reveal to shareholders that the company's DTC strategy was unable to generate sustainable revenue growth. Executives are also accused of failing to disclose that Nike's competitive advantages did not protect the company from intense competitive pressures after Nike largely disengaged from many of its wholesale and retail partners. They lost share in categories like running and faced criticism for its lack of innovative products. So, what's my take on all of this? Basically, they're struggling to adapt to the new age of online sales and keeping partnerships. Now, does that scare me
Mm,
as an investor? No, because Nike is a tried and true company, for one. For two, this could be just a FUD type of article to try to scare newer investors out of their positions so that the larger investors can buy the dip, quote unquote. So what they basically do, they basically run the media. So they'll try to put out these scare articles and things like that to try to scare less experienced investors out of their newly acquired positions in some of these said companies. So that's basically my take. It's just a bunch of hogwash to me as for right now. They still are bringing in revenue growth and things of that nature, and they're not currently in any type of debt. And I continuously buy Nike's apparel as far as footwear and hoodies and things of that nature to wear. So I'm not scared. I'm not worried about this little legal issue. In worst case
mhm.
scenario, they may have to pay some sort of fine or something like that or a settlement fee. But Nike isn't going anywhere.
Okay. Hogwash, huh, Fraz? You keep it super clean for the Sunday show. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at Nike. I have it on the 5 year right now. So Nike is definitely seeing, they are um, not seeing the days that they were back in 2021 with their stock price. I have never invested into Nike. Let's take a look at it year to date. So this is 5 year. Year to date, they are down 8.79% on the month. They are up 6.32%. But I know the legal issue that you're talking about, uh, the shareholders have until I believe August in order to file and be a part of this lawsuit or whatever the issue is, called with the courts. But they have until August to submit if they want to be a part of it. So, and then Nike's, I'm not sure if you said it already, but Nike's earnings are coming up on Thursday. So, what level is this on in your portfolio? What level is Nike in your portfolio, Prez? Like
Currently,
what percentage?
it's on level 5 of my pyramid, and that's about a
Mhm.
1% allocation. Actually,
Okay.
as of right now, it's actually excuse me, it's actually less than 1% right now because I've been strengthening up my VTI position, and I've also been working on level 2 of my pyramid that contains of Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. So
Mhm.
increasing my position in Nike.
All right. So your audio seems to be breaking up a little bit. You guys can let me know in the chat. Are you guys hearing Prez clearly in what he's saying? Because I know on my end I am not. Um, but I did hear you say it's a 1% allocation. So nothing significant, but just with just something that we're seeing in the news, and in this upcoming week, their earnings are coming out. So something I thought about when I saw your portfolio update yesterday. So let's touch on Nvidia a little bit. Um, Lashes says yes. I don't know if that means yes, it's clear, or yes, it's not. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So Nvidia is uh, about what, 2 weeks now into being post split, and their stock price has pulled back a little bit. Let's take a look. So on the week, they are down 2.5%. Yeah, I definitely remember the days when I was seeing 130. Now it's down to 126.57. Um, so any thoughts on Nvidia? I see they have come down a little bit, but all three of the companies, the top three companies, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia, all their market cap was very, very close, like 3 points, 4 points, so close that they're going to keep rotating. But Nvidia, last I looked, was back down into the number 3 spot when it comes to the largest companies in the US. So with the quarterly rebalancing of the indices, and you know Nvidia really showing that it's going to remain, it seems, in that top spot. Any thoughts on Nvidia's stock? Slight decrease of their recent gains post split.
My thoughts is healthy for the actual price action. It was into way overbought territory. It just kept on running. It had a mind of its own, even though the rest of the market on certain days will be red, and video will be like the only thing that's up 4%. So it's due for a correction, because what goes up must come down eventually. Like stocks don't go up forever. But as far as the actual growth and revenue income that the company is bringing in, they're blowing earnings out of the water as far as expectations are concerned. But a share price pullback is normal, especially when you run up like you have so far. And but since they have done their stock split, they're still in the positive. I'm not sure as far as the percentage wise, as far as the gains is concerned, but they're still up
Mhm.
compared to the price they were at before the split, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, I had it on the day. So on the month, they are up 21.94%. So when I said they had a slight pullback, is just very recently, probably towards the end of last week. But yeah, definitely the same, if not post split is pretty much the same, because we were seeing 1200, high 1200s, strong before the split. Yeah. So Lashes, they had a 10-for-1 split. And I know I did a video last week on Broadcom, and I think in the video I said the split incorrectly, but please know, when I say a split, I mean, if I say 10 to 1 instead of 1 to 10, just a little mistake. Please forgive me. So another couple of companies that have upcoming stock splits are what I just mentioned, Broadcom. Theirs is coming up July 15th, and they are a producer of wireless chips for 5G sensors for industrial equipment. Um, and they've been having strong annual earnings growth. I think I remember recently, maybe the beginning of this month, they were like in the number 12 in the U.S. companies, and they've been kind of pushing up into the top 10 also, maybe about number 8 the next time that I looked. So another strong company in that technology realm. So, and let's also talk about, we'll touch on while I'm talking about stock splits. We have Sony coming up, but that's going to be a 5-for-1. That's a little bit off. That's going to be in October. And then more coming up a little bit more quickly is going to be the Chipotle 50-for-1 stock split. So, um, any thoughts on Chipotle or Broadcom, Press? Can you hear me, Press?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. Now I know
It
you
was
said you
breaking up
weren't
a little
ready.
bit. Could you
Okay.
you talking about Broadcom?
Hmm.
So my thoughts on Broadcom, I did do a little digging. They reported a revenue of 12.49 billion from the second quarter, and they also have raised profit targets for next year. Now, what I'm noticing is it seems like a little bit of a stock split boom where all of these companies are splitting off, are having stock splits, and it's attracting a lot of smaller investors and traders alike to the particular
Mm-hmm.
company. Now, it could be a potential trade for some of the traders that are out there, but be
Yeah.
sure that you do your own research and, of course, use an appropriate stop loss because some of the, like in the history, a lot of companies are known to have a pullback after the stock split. But what we've been saying lately, as far as Nvidia is concerned, that post stock split, the company just continued to run until recently when it just started having a minor pullback. I wouldn't even call it a major pullback. It's a minor pullback in my opinion for now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just like we were talking about a couple weeks ago about not wanting to hold on to your average. We also have to use our best judgment on deciding when we're going to invest and not just sit here. I think I have my alert for Broadcom at what, 1760. But I have to realize, am I gonna, if I decide that I want that in my portfolio, am I gonna sit here and hang on to that price point and not get into it? And then 5 years from now say, I should not have been that rigid, should have reevaluated, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But you know, you have to make a plan, stick to it, and hopefully if something does pass you by, you have your eyes open to find another investment if you want to build, into certain add different sectors into your portfolio. But as always, we do know that you can do an ETF index fund for simplicity if trying to find the next great thing, the next hot stock that's gonna run up like so many have done over the years is not for you. So I thought I put in Sony. Were we not talking about Sony? I don't know why I have Meta on my screen over here. So Sony,
Yes, we did mention Sony.
Sony. Okay, here we go. Sony. When I think of Sony, that really brings to mind like an old fashioned kind of a company, because it seems like it's something I can't, as far back as I can think. I think I've heard of Sony, but they are still relevant. The PlayStation, um, their subscription revenue, imaging and sensors, they are still a relevant company, and their stock price. Do I have the right thing up? Oh, today is not the day. Do I have the right ticker up here? Some press
Yes, that's
Sony
Sony.
Group Corp. Okay. So, I wasn't I think I'm confusing myself because I'm saying they're having a 5-to-1 split coming in October. I think I was expecting to see something a little bit more substantial with that price. Um, but yeah, they are still showing that they are a strong company with doing a share buyback, repurchasing of their stock, um, of 25% of their outstanding shares. So another tech company to keep on your radar if you're interested. Um, so what else do I have here in our notes? Tesla. So I mentioned to you about the Tesla
As far as
robo
Sony,
taxi.
I just want to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sony is what is
Go
called
ahead.
a ADR. It's like to basically try to explain that real quick. ADR is American Depository Receipt. It is a negotiable certificate issued by the United States Depository Bank, representing a specified number of shares, usually one share of a foreign company stock. It's basically a way for United States investors to invest into foreign companies that are not listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Now, the only downside that I see as far as investing into a ADR company is you could be subject to double taxation and currency exchange fees and things of that nature when you're going to try to close your position or take profit on these positions or anything like that, or even receiving a dividend from somebody. So before you invest into an ADR type of company, please make sure you do your own research and make sure you can trust this particular ADR company, and also consult a tax professional because you may incur some sort of tax implications on this said investment.
Yeah, I didn't know that. You actually pointed that out to me this weekend, so that was a great point to share. Anything else on what? Oh, I didn't mention Chipotle before. Do you have any update on the Chipotle split or any thoughts on your feelings about it? That's another one that's kind of been highly anticipated. A 50-to-1, unlike the other ones we
I don't
mentioned
know much about
today, 10
Chipotle
to 1.
itself as far as the I don't know much about Chipotle as far as the actual business is concerned, but I do
Mhm,
notice a lot of people love the food and things of that nature. Now, I did read that they are doing a 50-for-1 split on June the 25th. Now, the current
mhm.
share price of Chipotle is wow, $3,200. So they're really due for a stock split when a share price is that high because you give smaller investors a chance to invest into companies like this, as well as traders. Like the option contracts will be significantly cheaper. The share
Yes.
price will be significantly cheaper. So, like I said, I feel like we're on in a current stock split boom or a stock split bubble per se. So it's an opportunity
Mhm.
for not just investors, but traders at the same time because of the cheaper share price, which means you can purchase more shares and take on maybe a larger trade, or it's easier for you to get into that trade.
Yeah.
I do not
Um,
currently long-term invest into Chipotle, nor do am I a consumer of their business. But hey, if you like it, I love it.
well, I do eat it sometimes, but I don't intend on. I think the individual companies, it will probably be technology or pharmaceuticals are kind of the top things that I would look to adding for additional exposure when I do think about individual stocks. Um, so, oh, wrong page. So yeah, we talked about the Nvidia. All right. So Tesla Robo Taxi event is coming up on August 8th. And that is going to have a strong focus on their self-driving car, the Robo Taxi software sales. So that's where Tesla has a potential to have a strong financial growth from this robo taxi really taking off. So the Tesla fully driverless vehicle is what they've been aiming to achieve, and I we will see how that comes about and what updates they have for us in August. But um, I really think that Tesla, the stock price is volatile. I do hold Tesla in my portfolio and in my daughter's portfolio because I see the long-term potential. So but it's not easy on a month to month or quarterly basis to see the fluctuations that it's currently having. But it's a stock that I think it really has innovation in with the future, with the robots and their cars themselves, the robots now with this robo taxi, self driving, the advances that they are trying to make. I think it's a company that I'm definitely going to continue to add to in my portfolios. Um, so, anything on that before I talk about Alphabet's version or their way of competing in this autonomous driving realm, Press?
You said my take on all of this. Now, I've been
Mhm.
doing a little research, and the Alphabet Corporation already has a robo taxi service available that's already launched, and it is called the Waymo division of the Alphabet Corporation. They're already
Yes.
active in Phoenix, Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Now, what I did gather from doing my little brief research on this company, they have had like a few minor incidents as far as accidents is concerned. Nothing, no fatalities or anything like that, but a few human beings were injured in some of these accidents. Now, what I noticed is that they're trying to, they could be possibly rushing out this new project that they're working on. And right now, what I see them doing is they're trying to fine tune the software part of the software side of this new project that they're on. Whereas though with Tesla, on the other hand, I feel as though they're taking their time to make sure when they roll this new service out that it's perfect. So I'm leaning more towards Tesla as far as the robo taxi is concerned. Now, Waymo still has time to get it together, but I'm leaning more towards Tesla because they seem to be taking their time as far as rolling this project out, as far instead of rushing it, trying to be the number one competitor in the market share.
Yeah, when you talk about driverless vehicles and you're using the word perfect, yeah, yeah, when something that I want to be perfect, it's that. Yeah, I barely like getting into the car with the Uber driver, a human person. Never mind, I'm going to be getting into a driverless vehicle. So, yeah, I was not aware of
I'm
the
nervous with
how
some family
far.
members driving the car, let alone an Uber
Hmm?
driver.
You
I
said
said
what?
I'm nervous with some family members on the wheel, let alone an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
Um, yeah, I do. I do. So, yeah, let's take a look. This is I was not aware until just doing some research the last few days at how far Alphabet Google was with their Waymo division in comparison to Tesla. That seems like it's been a slow going thing. And now we still have to wait until August, this event on August 8th, to get more detail as to where they're at. So this is the Waymo driverless vehicle, just to take a quick look at it. So what areas did you say that it's kind of prevalent in being used right now, Press? Did you say? Is there a
You said what
delay?
areas did I say? They are
Yes, yes.
available active. Yeah, it is a sort of delay. I apologize for that if it's on my end.
Uh-huh. Okay.
They are currently active in Phoenix, Arizona, Los Angeles, California, and San Francisco.
Red Star, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Lithium stocks. What are lithium stocks? What is lit? Do you mean lit? Prez, do you have an answer for this or any insights on his question?
Me currently, I don't currently invest into any lithium stocks. I just invest into the larger cap companies as for right now. Now, I have traded a few of them, back in my early days of trading, back when I was learning about the whole EV craze, like Tesla and your ChargePoint and your Lucid and your Neo. I was looking more into lithium stocks then, but it was just like the innovative mindset that I had before I learned about how to properly allocate my portfolio. So as of right now, I'm not currently interested in owning any lithium stocks or trading them for that matter. But it is a good innovative idea to have as an investor. Now, what I would do if I were to start investing into lithium companies, I would have them at a 1% allocation of my total portfolio, so that way I can minimize the potential downside risk of this said company. I don't know of any large cap lithium companies that I don't know of
Yeah,
any, but I
Red
can
Star.
take a note of it and
Red Star, can you elaborate a little bit on
do
your question? Because
a
I'm
little
not.
research on it.
Yeah, we're not able to hear you right now, Prez. I'm sorry if I was talking over you. Red Star, if you could elaborate a little bit on your question, because I'm not sure if you're what particular, if you're talking about like in technology or you're talking about in medical. I'm sorry, I'm not really understanding what it is you're asking in the question. Um, but yeah, Tesla, Google kind of surprised me with how well that they're doing with that autonomous taxi. Um, so, oh, another thing related to Tesla is Elon's pay package was approved about 10 days ago. So, I mean, not something that's going to be the make the company thrive, but just another update because everything just seems to have a way of impacting the stock price. Um, so where is oh, I guess I don't have it over here. But what else, Prez? I have some notes on Micron technology. Is that anything that's been on your radar
My take
lately?
on the pay approval, give the man his money, let him focus more on Tesla as a company because he
Hmm.
was already making threats that if he didn't get his money, then he would start focusing his attention on other business ventures that he's into. And we as shareholders, we want him to stay with Tesla because that's his main company, and we don't want to see someone else coming in and taking over Tesla that could potentially um, force investors to close their positions and take their money elsewhere. So it's a good thing in my opinion. It's a win for Elon. My view on him as a person has nothing to do with me as an investor into the company. I'm just money at the end of the day.
Hmm. Hmm. All right. So let's see, Red Star. What with the climate issues Tesla had this winter, do you think lithium is worth it? Okay, so I guess what you were saying was definitely in line with what they were asking about the batteries for the vehicles. So I
It
think
could
he's
be a
touching
potential
on like
trade, in my opinion. I don't see it as an investment. I don't see lithium companies as an investment for myself. I would look at it more
Mhm.
as a like a cyclical type of trade. Like you trade it with the season that it's in, and if they start, having some type of good news catalyst or something like that, it could be a potential trading opportunity. But I don't see any lithium companies right now as a long-term investment. That's just my personal opinion.
There's more straightforward, easier ways to get exposure to tech than to go down to that particular sector. Is that your feeling? To be so
Yeah,
deep? Yeah.
yeah. Basically, I like to stick with companies that I know. I like to stick with companies that I directly use. And if I don't directly use it, then majority of my peers and relatives and people that I know use this particular product, like Apple, for example. I don't own an iPhone. I probably never will. But a lot of people that I know, a vast majority of the people that I know personally, currently use iPhones, and every time a new one come out, they flock into the store to buy Apple iPhones and the watch and everything, all the accessories that go with it, and they're pretty expensive. So if they keep on wanting to spend their hard-earned money on these products, then why might me as an investor be invested into a company like this? Now, as far as I'm more of a technology innovation type of mindset, so I lean more towards technology companies And right now, artificial intelligence is the next big thing. So I'm more
Mhm.
focused on what's going on with companies like that right now, and a little bit of healthcare and a little bit of financials and a few consumer products as well, just to have a little bit of balance in my overall
Yeah.
portfolio. But for the most part, I'm more leaning into the money maker, the technology sector right now. Like technology is just booming.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Definitely consumer products. With but some of those different things they kind of overlap with like Amazon that has so much exposure with technology as well as you think of it for your deliveries and all of the consumer goods, but kind of differently than you think about Target or Walmart. But yeah, I do remember some months back, in the deep, midst of winter, reading a lot more. Say, like in Chicago, how the Teslas were not starting at all, and the issues that they were having. So I think that's kind of what um, Red Star was kind of thinking about. Do you remember that? Do you remember back in the winter with that stuff going on, press, with the Teslas not starting in certain areas and people struggling?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
It's in my
Um,
opinion, it's like a new technology. It's new. The electric vehicles are new. So of course you're gonna have some sort of kinks and the armor and things of that nature. Just think about when people first started using smartphones and cell phones in general. Think of how big and clunky they were. Some of them look like a whole garage door opener, or some of them look like you holding a book up to your ear. Just think about then versus how they look now, how you can basically scroll with your fingertips on your phone and do anything you need to do versus the old rotary phones and the old flip phones and the Nextels with the chirp. You can just chirp anybody you felt like chirping. And just think about it then, how that technology then was flawed and look
okay, okay.
at
Yeah,
factor that in with the electric.
yeah, Prez. It seems like the connection's pretty bad today. A little delay, freezing. So we might be keeping it kind of short. Are you hearing me now clearly? It seems like you're moving. Can you hear me right now? Yeah, it's a delay. It's a delay. A longer delay than than we usually have. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you now.
Okay, okay, I hear you too. Um, yes. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for Bubble Chaser for being checking us out for the first time ever. I appreciate you. Uh, so did you want to talk about yes, you're bringing up the oldies with the chirp phone press. So do you want to touch on any other companies before we just kind of go to a little Q&A and stuff like that?
Sure, I'm down.
Yeah,
What I'm
you're
about
doing.
to do is I'm about to switch to my phone, so I'm going to drop out real quick
Okay.
and continue this from my phone.
Are you going to drop completely, or am I going to see another press pop up? Well, I'll
Yeah,
just
I'll
be
be right
looking.
back.
I'll be looking for you in the background. So while Prez is gone for a
Okay.
minute, let's take a look at the largest companies in the U.S. because I was just talking to someone recently, and they were saying I was talking about Nvidia, and they were saying Nvidia. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. They said Nvidia is a larger company than Amazon, and I'm like, yeah, it's larger than Amazon. Um, and you know, as investors, uh, even if you are investing into an ETF or index fund, it's just interesting to know and be aware of what companies are driving the market. So is this, let's put this US first of all. because that's what our concentration is. So let's take a look. So as of right now, Nvidia has dropped down back down to number three. They were at number one for a minute there, but if you see here, all three of these companies, they're very close. They're $3 trillion companies, but they've been kind of neck and neck with their market cap. So I think they're going to continue to be trading places as to who is in the number one spot. So, but between Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia, these are the largest companies right now. And then we move down. We have Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Berkshire Hathaway, Eli Lilly, which is a pharmaceutical company, and then Broadcom, which we've touched on a little bit today. And Tesla as well makes up the top 10 currently, but this is always changing. And you know, we've often heard about the Mag 7, but Tesla at times was in a higher number than even in the top 10. But those are the magnificent seven stocks as opposed to what has been leading the market as a whole. But just wanted to share that because like I said, I was talking to someone and they were not aware of Nvidia. They could not believe that a company that they had never heard of was larger than, for example, Amazon or Google, which they definitely had heard of. So still waiting for Prez to get back. Google, I forgot to talk about this when we were talking about the robo taxi. So Google, I was not aware of how they were so far in their advancement with, above where Tesla seems to be with their robo taxi. Google's Waymo, it seems to be a little bit more advanced. It's out there. They're using it in the main cities that Prez touched on earlier. So Google is really a strong company. I already have exposure to it. They're known for their search engine as well as Gmail and of course YouTube. So they have a $2 trillion market cap, but really up there as a company that I'm glad that I put in the work over the last few years to gain exposure to Google as well as Amazon, Apple, and now Nvidia. None of these have disappointed me in my portfolio. Tesla, right now, I am currently red on my Tesla, but like I said, it's something that I've become aware of the volatility of it, but still believe in it for its long-term potential. But there are several companies that I've been investing into, but that are over a 40% gain right now. So, Prez, I don't know if you probably weren't able to talk to me. I was just talking a little bit about Google, and I went over the top 10 companies currently in the U.S. Because some people still haven't heard of Nvidia, and it's hard to believe that they're a bigger company than some of the things that we have heard about that we all know, like a Walmart or an Amazon. So, all right. So I
Right.
don't know if there's
And
any.
then Nvidia is just getting itself out there as being a known company in the public. I just recently saw I believe it was on Nightline or one of those news stations that come on, the world news that come on Sunday evening, 60 Minutes, one of those. They had the chairman of NVIDIA interviewing him about the artificial intelligence. So the
Mhm,
general public
mhm.
is just learning about what NVIDIA is as a company. Unless you've been living under a rock, we as investors and traders, we been knew about NVIDIA back when it was in the $100 range.
Okay, okay. So Stock David says he holds positions in all 10 of the top 10 companies that I ran down by market cap. I do not. I know Prez probably has more than me because you have Eli Lilly and more individual companies, even if it's a small, even if it's on your 1% or 5% allocation in your portfolio. So um, so I want to go to a little Q&A unless there's something for a few minutes, unless there's something else that you wanted to talk about with just stock market recap in general, Press?
Sure, I'm down. Any questions?
And maybe this I don't know. Do we have any? Do we have any? Let me go to the bottom.
Wow, thanks, a brother of a
Will
certain age. Thanks for sending Miss Lisa J the super chat.
will this $20 go to a Chipotle meal or Chipotle stock? I haven't eaten today, so it may go to it may be going to a Chipotle meal. Thank you so much for that. Um, what are we both looking forward to this week in the stock market? I can't say. Well, you go ahead, Fres. Oh, it looks like Fres is still having difficulties. He switched to his phone and he's still. Are you there, Fres? Yeah. Yeah, guys. We might be Fres, did you hear my question?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I was saying, even with
What
your
am I
phone,
looking
you
forward
still
to
seem to
this
be
week in the
having.
stock market?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It actually wouldn't allow me to switch it to my phone. I don't know what's going on today. The devil is being
Okay.
busy. They're trying to stop our shine. But
Remember
anyway,
that.
what I'm expecting this week is a clear direction. I don't care if it's going up or down. If it's going up, then I'll potentially find some trades and trade the market while it's going up. And if it's going down, then I'll trade the market as it's going down and go shopping with a portion of my profit, like I say every day on my live streams. Like, I
Mhm.
don't care. I much rather them crash the market. Me being a trader, I much rather them crash the market so I can get good companies at a discount than for the market to continuously run up. Then I'm worried about like what price point should I add to this position, or I want to add a new position, but it already ran up. You understand what I'm saying? So I like it when the market is down. Like, it doesn't bother me. It used to when I first got involved in this space because I was simply investing into the wrong companies and I was investing too heavily into the wrong companies. But now, since I got a clear head on how I should be investing my money and allocating my portfolio, I don't worry about whether the market is up and down. Just give me a clear direction. As long as it's not trading sideways, I'm okay.
I'm sorry, Press, because I know that our topic of the day, in addition to just talking about the stock market recap, was supposed to be consistency. And I was running a little late today, guys, and I totally forgot and have not been on track with the topic. Prez, I'm sorry about that. But you didn't try to get me back on track either. I don't know if you just didn't mind or what was going on there. But okay, let me take a look at Rooted's. Let's go through some questions. But I think as we talk, let's make
You
sure
know
to
me, I'm gonna go with the
incorporate.
flow. I'm gonna go with the flow anyway.
But Prez, I need you to know when I'm a scatterbrained mess over here so that you can help me to stay on track. Um, yes, but let's incorporate that, because that was supposed to be the theme of today, is consistency. And I heard that in your last what you were just talking about is, when the market starts to thrive, um we still have to stick to our game plan. We cannot turn our back. We cannot take a permanent break for months from investing, in my opinion. And I think from what you're saying, you're feeling the same. But let's take a quick look at some of these questions. As I said, I did want to highlight some questions. um and Fast Eddie, I don't know what there's no particular events that are on my radar that I'm especially looking forward in this upcoming week. As far as the stock market, I am hoping to I am ready with some money that I'm kind of keeping my eye on. I do want to get into some option trades this week and see continue to build on my skill as far as that. So that is something that I'm looking forward to, is to getting into some options trades, I would say. So Rooted, I heard Rooted on one of his morning drives. He was talking about NVIDIA, but he wants to know, what is that company? What do they do? So NVIDIA is an AI chip maker, and they are really dominating and advancing in this technology. And a lot of companies are using their products or reaching out to them for the technology that they have to use within their systems. Anything else you want to add to that, Press?
NVIDIA makes graphics processing units. It's basically the hardware that goes inside of the computer, and it helps you with the
Okay.
Did you hear me?
A little still no still a little bit hard to hear you, but it was breaking up for me on my end. So let's take a look at Megan's question. She's saying, do either of us ever set basic share size goals? $100 of an individual stock, for example. Of course, still diversifying. For me, I don't necessarily. I was saying this one week. I don't necessarily have share size goals, but because I'm a content creator, sometimes it crosses my mind, oh, I'm at 500 days or I'm at 100 shares. So I create my updates that I share in that way. But just because I get to 50 shares of Apple, I know that's a video that I've done in the past. I got to 50 shares. I thought that that was a good stopping point to share where I was at as far as an update of my progress. But I don't have an end goal on certain things. So yes, sometimes I do set dollar size, dollar goals, and share size goals, but I'm not really attached to that concept. Like, I don't say I have to have 100 shares of Google and Amazon or this or that. I'm just working on right now, concentrating on being consistent and building up my positions on the things that I know I'm just not done yet. I'm a long-term investor, and I'm just not there yet. I'm just right now. I'm just in a place where there's many things that I'm just going to keep going. How about you, Press?
I don't have a share size goal. I have a blueprint, my pyramid strategy, to where as though it's split into five, and everything is based on percentages. So whatever company that I have in my portfolio, I like to keep it at that same percentage allocation and just stay consistently
Hmm.
investing on a daily, weekly, monthly basis as often as I can, as much as I can. So the shares, they're just gonna come. I don't have a set number of shares that I would like to acquire of any said company. I have a percentage allocation of that portfolio that I have dedicated to that particular company in each portfolio that I manage.
Hmm. I get it. So for right now, 60% VTI, and you're just building and building and building, and wherever the percentage is supposed to fall, you're just building those up. Yeah, I think I'm kind of the same. Yeah, yeah. But as you get to, as I hit certain milestones, I might say it. But like, even when I shared, I had gotten to my $10 a day, I had gotten to 20 shares of VTI. But in that video, I'm sure I said, and I don't know when it's ever going to stop. I'm just going to keep on going. So, yes. Now, okay, I thought you need 100 shares to trade options on a stock. Is that true? Is that for covered calls, or how
Trade
would you
options
explain
on
that,
that.
Fred?
That's for cover calls if you want to sell the option contract and collect the premium the same way you would the market maker would do if you were to trade the option contract. You buy the contract and you sell it that same day or the next day or whatever the expiration date is. Now, if you would like to just collect premium, and that way theta decay works on your side. So the closer it gets to expiration, the less this contract is now valuable. Now you do need 100 shares or whatever company for however many contracts you're trying to sell of that company. as far as options contracts is concerned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel that that's an obstacle for me about covered calls versus the options that we get into. So it's not a concern to me about getting to 100 shares, nor do I have the budget that it's going to take time to get to that. The only position that I have currently over 100 shares is my realty income. I'm over 50 in some other positions, but not, I wouldn't say I'm not knocking on the door of 100 with anything else. Over 50 with Apple, for example, as I just mentioned. But yeah, I'm trying to get there with definitely VOO, VTI, and some of my other blue chip stocks. But I have been putting more concentration into bringing up my ETFs because I had more going into, especially Apple was my favorite investment there for a while. So I had a large percentage. Oh, I was over 50% at one point in my portfolio into Apple. But it doesn't seem like we have any too many other questions going on. I thought it would be hot and people would be inside watching us press.
I didn't hear you. What you say?
I said I thought it would be really hot outside and people would be inside watching and listening. Are you in a heat wave currently in your area?
Yes, yes, it is. It is hot enough to fry a dog's brain in the car outside right
Hmm.
now. It is extremely hot, but
Yes, yes.
fortunately, I'm sitting in air conditioning, so
I am too. I have I hope it's not too noisy because it's like I don't have central air, so I have to have air conditioners in the rooms, but I couldn't be up here today without it at all. There's no way. All right. So, anything else? I don't see too many questions rolling in. Let's just talk a little bit about, like you said, the consistency of when the market, when we're in a bull market, a bear market, staying consistent. So, what is it that you like to continue to share as a general message on this show, on our show, and on your channel?
um to the general message on staying consistent. If you need any type of inspiration, that's why I continuously do weekly portfolio updates to show you that consistency is key here. And I don't know if you guys noticed or not that have viewed my portfolio updates, but it's been growing. I started this portfolio back in January. Here we are in almost July, and the thing is almost well over $600 just consistently, $5 a day. Like that should be inspiration in itself for you to have a small budget or a large budget for that matter to just stay consistent. Now imagine if you were doing $25 a day consistently since January, you will be significantly in profit as well as have a nice sized portfolio to be proud of. Like it's a marathon at the end of the day. It's not a sprint. Stay consistent and properly allocate yourself and take the time to do the research before you start investing into individual companies. You're much safer with an overall exchange traded fund before you take the time to, we all have busy schedules at the end of the day. And some of us say, like, it's too hard to learn how to research these companies. Okay, well, just invest into an ETF for now. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not the hottest stock, it doesn't move very fast, but you're slowly but surely growing your money over time. Long as you stay consistent and make sure you can afford to stay consistent, you have nothing to worry about at the end of the day. Just zoom
Hmm.
out on the chart of the S&P 500. When in doubt, you just zoom out. When you feel like the bear market is really weighing my portfolio down, take the time and evaluate your portfolio and ask yourself, am I too overweight in this individual company, or should I be picking up more?
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. We've been having a little bit of technical issues today. And yeah, I didn't even bring up a drink of water or anything up here with me. But thanks so much for tuning in. Prez, can you give us our station break of the day to update everyone on what goes on and what to do? And did you give a thumbs up today? I don't know even know how many I have on my side. Um,
Before y'all leave, did y'all hit the like button? Before y'all leave, ask yourself, did I hit the like button? Do the two hosts, do the co-host and the host deserve a like? If so,
are
then
you
hit that like
surprised?
button for us. Let make sure this information gets out there to newer investors, beginner, curious, and even experienced investors. Hit that thumbs up, y'all. Run them likes up. And if you're not subscribed to
Prez. Wait a minute, Prez. I don't know
either
why I'm over here
of our
trying to
channels,
delegate to you.
make sure you just that you subscribe to a Friday at 9.
Prez. I don't know what's wrong with me. I should not be delegating to the person that's having the little bit of a technical issue. So to to do the to do the station break and update because that was not the plan. But I think you guys get it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully things will be better next week as far as the connection and everything. But yes, um, if you're not already, subscribe to both of our channels. If you're ready to open up a new investment account, check out our links. You'll be supporting the channel. We'll both get free stocks. If you're watching on Prez side, you'll see them over there. If you're watching on my side, you'll see them here. Um, and what else? Prez is running it down. I don't know if you heard. He goes live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I put out videos throughout the week. And every once in a while, not too often, we pop up with an extra live, but we try to always be here on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's just highlight one more thing here from Bubble Chaser. He invests $10. I'm sorry if I'm saying he. They invest $10 a day, $90 a week, $100 a week, and $500 a month, all into different directions. Okay. Yes, that's what I mean. Stay consistent, even with a small amount. And even if you're not investing, even if you're not in a position where you want to have a portfolio that you are maintaining yourself, if your main concentration is, if your main concentration is your 401k. I like this image. I had this pulled for this is from Fidelity. If you are working, you're contributing to a 401k or a 403b or whatever your company offers, or if you have had to create an IRA on your own, take a look at this. You can take a look. I'll try to tag this article also. If you are 30 years old, you should have 1 year of your salary invested. If you are, let's say, 45 years old, you should have 4 times your salary invested. This is just a guideline. Everyone's circumstances are a little bit different, but I like to share this particular image because I want us to be ready for retirement. I want us not to be dependent on Social Security and be on track with making a plan for ourselves. Yeah, I had other images pulled, but of course, I totally forgot them earlier on because, like I said, today is not the day. Um, I, I see you guys having a private little conversation over there about the connection. Thank you so much, Bubble Chaser. I hope you enjoyed your first time being here. But yeah, this is what we do on Sundays. Uh, all right, we're coming up on an hour. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back next week. If you have any questions, suggestions, things that you'd like to share, you can do that in the comment section. I'm sure Prez will take a look and use that to potentially create upcoming content for us. And that's it. All right. I'm wrapping it up. Prez, you good? We having delay issues. Okay. All right. Bye guys. Until next time.